It's 2018, the age of information. Through all methods of communication, the human voice remains the most powerful in the world. It can inspire, entertain, educate, and change the world. According to the Ethnologue Catalogue of World Languages, humans use over 6,900 languages to communicate. That's a lot of ways to say hello. So why are psychologists so interested in vocal communication? Viewing the voice as a musical instrument can help us to understand its communicative power. In the same way that guitars and trombones have musical notes and mechanisms to convey melodies, the human voice has its own mechanical systems in place to share and evoke mental states and feelings.
From looking at speech in an MRI scanner, we are able to see how each sound we make is produced. MRI stands for Magnetic Resonance Imaging. By using this technology, we can gather information on the activation of the brain and use hundreds of muscles in our face, mouth and throat.
In the same way that each sound by a trumpet is produced by pressing its buttons and blowing at different pressures, speech is formed by controlling our vocal folds and tongues. It's the flexibility and musicality of the human voice that allows us to learn new languages, sing our hearts out, and even beatbox. Psychologists at Royal Holloway have been focusing on exactly how the voice works. Using MRI, they can look at the whole voice in action during speech, whilst also measuring brain activity.
By looking at the voice through an MRI scanner, psychologists are able to analyse movement as well as sound. Unlike other methods, like ultrasound, MRI doesn't require probes or sensors that could interfere with natural speech behaviours.
If we look inside the voice with MRI, we can find out more about how sounds are generated. For example, try reading these words aloud. Rabbit, rock, reverb. It turns out that English speakers tend to do this in mainly two different ways.
Rabbit, rock, reverb.
Two quite different movements lead to the same sound. That's why it's important to look inside the voice to fully understand how it's made. We can even discover how the voice can be used to generate truly unique sounds, such as those made by this beatboxer. Looking at each sound, along with the movements required to make them, gives us an idea of how they might be replicated. We can use this technique to find out what is happening when speech is more difficult to produce. For example, when learning a foreign language or in stuttering.
We can even use MRI to understand how emotion affects the voice.
Let's look more closely at how researchers can use MRI to link vocal behaviour to the brain.
Feed. 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 Feed.
The team at Royal Holloway has found that highly trained singers are much better at this than people without singing expertise. This kind of research can further our understanding of the links between the brain and behaviour in people recovering from a stroke. Looking at the voice from the inside reminds us of the complexity of vocal communication. So the next time that you're on the phone, having a sing in the shower, or practicing your French vocab, remember that each mouth movement, laugh and sound you make is the result of generations of behaviour techniques and interactions. Through our ever-moving and changing world, these sounds and techniques will remain the most vital part of human communication.